Spider-Man and Daredevil will not be teaming up and working together in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Now, naturally, this has pissed a lot of people off, but at least we're getting Frank Castle, the Punisher. But if you still are holding out for that Daredevil team-up, good news, because apparently it's still in the cards. They very much want it, and they are going to deliver on this, but we just gotta wait a little bit longer for Spider-Man 5. When it comes to the future of Spider-Man in the MCU, we know that the upcoming Spider-Man Brand New Day, which is an absolutely loaded film at this point, is the start of a new trilogy. Now, of course, this is important because, once again, there are major plans in motion for this trilogy to sort of be a soft reboot of Spider-Man, if you will. And the one thing that they've said is that they want to remain street level, but also they want to add in more characters. And it definitely sounds like that the old deal that they had in place, where they would essentially have a limit of 2 MCU characters, has now increased since Sony isn't doing their own rogue thing over there with Spider-Man films anymore, and they're working with Marvel on just this Spider-Man project and universe. So when it comes to what's going on, we got to look at the characters that are in limbo still when it comes to Sony and Marvel Studios. And of course, a few characters that fall in there are, well, Wilson Fisk the Kingpin, because we know for films he's limited to Sony. We know that on TV and everywhere else, it's Marvel Studios. So what we're hearing is that this little line in regards to character rights and everything is going to become a lot more murkier down the road because both have agreed to work together. Which brings us to the next part of this video, which is the fact that Sony wants more Marvel characters and Marvel Studios wants Kingpin and Daredevil in the next Spider-Man film, and they want to all make it work. So obviously Spider-Man 4, aka Brand New Day, is a different Spider-Man film, that's for certain. First and foremost, they got the Punisher in there. Now, of course, why exactly the Punisher is teaming up with Spider-Man ahead of Daredevil, who really knows? Many people assume it's because Punisher appeared as a sort of Spider-Man antagonist early on, and that might be something that honestly both sides agreed on, that maybe this is the route they should take. But of course, this then leaves Daredevil, Matt Murdock, out there sort of just looking from the outside, right? He appeared in the last Spider-Man film, so why isn't he in this one? Well, I guess it comes down to, and from what we're hearing, the film that they wanted to tell, and the story that Marvel Studios wanted to tell in the Punisher special. Because of the ongoing story that Daredevil is telling with Daredevil Born Again, and will be continuing to tell in Born Again Season 3, from what I've been told, my understanding is that they're so closely linked together that taking Daredevil for a jaunt over into another story, having him interacting with the Hulk and all these Spider-Man villains and Spider-Man in between seasons, doesn't make sense in terms of the story. So Marvel decided, with Sony, to hold Daredevil back for Spider-Man 5. And I think that there is something to this. Make no mistake about it. Marvel Studios is the one that primarily worked on the story, the script, and everything for Spider-Man. This is their film. So if they wanted Daredevil in this, he would be in it. But obviously, Daredevil is in the middle of a story, and you can't just rip him out midway through a season or at the end of a season if there is a continuing story, drop him into another project and go, perfect, this is exactly where he fits, perfect, and then he's back to his own story. That just doesn't work. Thematically, story-wise, you can't make that fit. Frank Castle, from everything we know, the way his special presentation ends leads directly into him going after all the villains in Spider-Man Brand New Day. So this makes sense in terms of the story that they're telling to keep the universe going without making it seem like everything is rushed. And now that we know that Daredevil Born Again Season 3 is happening, and that's going to be sandwiched in between Doomsday and Secret Wars, it's pretty obvious that the plans for Daredevil are for him to team up with Spider-Man in Spider-Man 5 after Secret Wars. And it looks like both of them are going to fight Kingpin. Now, we keep hearing early details about plot leaks and plot elements from Spider-Man 5. I'm just going to say it right here. I don't think anything that's out there can be trusted, but I will tell you what I think. And a lot of people know, if you looked at the past of when I come up with theories, I kind of go on a safe path where I'm not predicting like all the scoopers were reporting, oh, Null is the next villain, and Venom's going to be in it, and both Spider-Men are returning, and all this and that. No, I'm going to keep this down to what can realistically be done. So after Secret Wars, the universe is reset. There is one timeline, the new sacred timeline, that's unfolding with nothing locked in. Nothing is for certain. Destiny is not written. So Daredevil Season 3 comes out before Secret Wars. Along with this film, they start development on Spider-Man 5 and Daredevil Born Again Season 4, more than likely, unless they want to rebrand it again. Now you got the opportunity to build up Spider-Man 5 as a fresh new take on what's going on with Spider-Man, where's Daredevil, and everything. And like the Punisher special, you can establish that Daredevil sets the tone with Wilson Fisk and a few others for a clash with Spider-Man. So when we get to Spider-Man 5, now you tie everything back around to what happened with Daredevil in No Way Home, but also the plot of Born Again as they wrapped it up and as they start the 4th season. So essentially, you kind of retrofit everything. It's existed, but it's this weird timeline where we know they're going to kind of amalgamate things, and history was slightly different. You pick and choose what happens. And you already established Daredevil and Spidey have worked off screen together. This is just them coming together to fight a bigger threat. This bigger threat being Wilson Fisk assembling a team of villains to fight Spider-Man and Daredevil. Again, Fisk is going to keep doing this. So you're going to need a couple villains out there. And now you got an opportunity because you got the Prowler. You got Aaron Davis. You got the actor who's played him. He's all up for it still. You know, he keeps talking about it. So why not get Lando back in the shoes of Prowler, right? And I think what you're going to get is essentially Spider-Man 5 is the first Spider-Man film in this new universe. And you're going to get a straight-up street-level film, more so than even Spider-Man Brand New Day. This is going to be the Daredevil team-up film that Marvel wants, but that they couldn't do yet due to limitations of Daredevil Born Again. And I fully believe that if Daredevil Born Again had stuck with the 18-episode first season as intended, he would have been in Spider-Man Brand New Day. But these limitations put a stop to that, hence why Frank Castle is in, because he is available and his special is leading right into it. Thank you for checking out that video, and thank you for your continued support. Feel free to like, share, subscribe, do whatever you will, and if you're so inclined and would like some additional content from us, which includes unfiltered content and bonus discussions, we do offer exclusively in our member section. We hope to see you there. So thank you for watching, and have a good one.